If you're considering getting into, or you've already begun getting into pro wrestling, chances are you're a little nervous, but ultimately you're fueled by excitement and passion, and of course, a childhood dream. Everyone gets into wrestling for different reasons. Some are in it for fun, others want to be the next world champion. Whatever your motivation may be, it's important to manage your expectations and set goals. My name is Xavier Justice, and I am Pure Pro Wrestling's head coach. And this is Managing Expectations and Setting Goals. When beginning your journey into professional wrestling, you have to remember to exercise patience. Don't be in a rush. Don't put unrealistic expectations and timelines on yourself because you'll be setting yourself up for failure. When managing expectations, you have to look at the number of hours that you're spending training for professional wrestling. That includes number of hours in the ring and number of hours that you're spending in the gym preparing your body for doing the actual physical movements that are required in professional wrestling. Now, every school is different. Coaches have different curriculums and expectations. You're going to find some schools that train 5 or 6 days a week for multiple hours. And then you're going to find other schools that only have training 2, 3, maybe 4 days a week. Now, Pure Pro Wrestling offers classes 6 days a week. And I encourage our students to come as often as they are able to, based off the fact that your success lies directly in the amount of repetitions that you're able to get. So, if you're only able to come to training for one class a week, then your process is going to take much longer than what somebody's would be if they were coming in, say, 4 or 5 times a week. So, repetitions is your biggest factor. So, if you're one of those students who has a very busy schedule and a hectic life, and you're only able to train 1, 2, maybe 3 days a week, then you need to have realistic expectations and understand that just because you might have been enrolled in the school for X amount of time, it doesn't necessarily mean that you were training at a full time pace. So you're essentially going to get out of this what you put into it. So as you're defining what your expectations are and you're setting those goals for yourself, you have to look at exactly how long you're going to be able to put into your training each week. And again, don't forget to include your gym time because conditioning, exercise, and nutrition are all part of what it takes to become a professional wrestler. Professional wrestling is more popular now than it's ever been. You can find wrestling all across the globe in places that you never even knew existed. It's really truly amazing to see how professional wrestling has transformed over the years and has become a global phenomenon. Now, most of us in wrestling might think that the territory days were the glory days of pro wrestling. And while it's nice to romanticize about the way things were, I think what people are starting to wake up and realize now is that we are living in the middle of a pro wrestling renaissance. Right now, it's easier now than it's ever been to get into the industry and to become successful at it. Money is out there and it's waiting for you. But you have to understand if you're just starting out, this is a slow grind. And that money and success and fame and fortune does not come overnight. It only comes with hard work, persistency, and patience. And a little bit of bad news for some people, it never, ever happens at all. This is a crapshoot you're getting into. You're gambling on yourself. You're investing in yourself. You're choosing to believe in your abilities and you're choosing to believe that you have something to offer this industry. You have something that people are going to want to pay to see. But you also have to understand that when you first start out, you're going to have little to no paydays. People don't get signed in year one to WWE. People don't go to Ring of Honor and AEW and Impact Wrestling straight out of wrestling school. As a matter of fact, many wrestlers never got their first break until they were 10, 15, or even 20 years into the business. And I have personal friends that I know who have been grinding for almost 2 decades now, and they still haven't caught their big break. Now, I'm not saying this to deter you, and I'm not saying that your big break won't come. What I'm simply saying is this: if you're getting into pro wrestling thinking that you're going to become an overnight instant success, I'm here to tell you that you're having an unrealistic expectation. Now, there are some exceptions to the rule. Some people are just so genetically gifted or just so unique and incredible that they get a contract, they get seen, they get noticed right away. And it's often that we'll see, especially in the WWE, where they'll pluck college athletes or former pro athletes out of athletics and put them into the world of entertainment. But for most of us, for the majority of us, this is a long, hard road. And you have to be willing to walk that road mile after mile. But if you're willing and you're able to put in the work, then you can find success. There is money out there waiting for you. But whether you find it or not is going to be up to you. Goals without action are merely dreams. Goals are often tricky words and concepts to conquer. Meeting goals are both difficult and easy at the same time. It's your perception of how you manage your goals and the expectations that come along with them that truly matters. Goals with time limits often create unreasonable expectations and unnecessary pressure. Look at goals as objections without constraints. We can plan all day, take action every day, but it rarely means our journey turns out like we expect it to. There will be moments and choices you make that will put you on different twists and turns, and that may unexpectedly help you to achieve your goal or at least illuminate the way. With that being said, the attitude of, I've got to get all of this done by X amount of time is a way to set yourself up for pressure, bitterness, heartbreak, and ultimately failure. You can have a dream. You can turn that dream into a goal, but you need to focus on the long term plan that you need to devise to get to that goal. In short, you'll have several small goals to conquer that will help snowball into the grand idea that you're working towards this large goal that you've set for yourself. Now that you're aware of just how much patience it's going to take to make it into the world of professional wrestling, it's time for you to embrace the grind and do something that human beings don't often like to do: take your time. Remember, you're not on anybody else's time but your own. You can't look around anybody else and say, well, they made it in such and such time, or they're doing this now and I'm not. Because again, everybody's journey is different, and you have to give yourself an opportunity to go at your own pace. Be prepared for this grind. This is an investment of your time and your money to chase your dream. Remember, you have tuition to pay for, you have gear to buy, you have merch to invest in, miles to drive, food to eat, nutrition to invest in, and a gym membership each month. You're going to be taking classes, you're going to be studying wrestling, you're going to be working on your body. And all of this takes a time. It takes effort, it takes patience, and it takes consistency. If you've properly managed your expectations, you've set some goals for yourself, and you've embraced the fact that this is going to be a grind, then you're already ahead. The next thing you're going to need to do is figure out what your long term goals are and then set to the path of research. Find out exactly what it takes to work for that goal that you've set for yourself. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to break apart each one of those steps, and those are going to become your new short term goals. Now, they can be related to your training, to your fitness, or even to your business aspirations. If you set up your short term goals to accomplish something greater, you're going to find success. A lot of people like to just free float. They get into wrestling or they get into other things in life, and they just sort of have this attitude of, let's just see what happens. And I'm not saying that's not fun to do that sometimes. And I'm not saying that you can't be successful just going with the flow. But I feel like a precise plan with steps of action is going to always help you get you closer to where you want to be.